Howdy, y'all. Um, it's been a while since I've gone live. Um, yeah, it's been a while since I've gone live. I've just basically been working on this documentary I've been doing. Um, I guess we could just talk a little bit about that first. Um, I'm producing a documentary. Woo! Really, it's just like I don't know. It's less of a documentary. It's more of a video essay, but I've been telling my family it's a documentary because none of them are on YouTube, so they don't really know the terminology. But it's basically just a document. It's just a documentary basically, but it's a video essay. Um, Not gonna say publicly who it's about yet because I kind of want that to be a surprise. I'm about halfway done, so tomorrow I should be halfway done. So probably be out like around next month, depending. I might release another video before this. I've been toying around with a idea. That's less of a video essay and more of just like my normal shit, just commentary kind of bullshit. Um, but yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. It's just a lot of that, a lot of just editing and motion graphics and all that kind of stuff. It's been a time. It's been a time and a half. Yeah, no, it's it's been a time and a half. Um, Kind of a nightmare. Not gonna lie. Just because, just work. Cause I've worked in After Effects before, obviously. Like I have, but I haven't worked in After Effects for an entire video, and that's kind of what's been like, fucking me. Hold on, let me fix my hat. Um, but yeah, I haven't really done like an entire video in After Effects before. I've only really done like sections. Like what I would do for my music videos is I would like cut them up in Premiere. Then I would depending on the kind of feel of it, I would color it usually in Premiere. Sometimes I'd go to DaVinci if I wanted a more like precise color correction. But usually I would just keep it in Premiere. I'd color it. I do any like anything else I really need to do in Premiere, any like last second tweaks, and then when that was done, I would pull it over to After Effects and I would do all the effects. Like the Imposter of Humanity video, that took me probably like 2 days to cut. Like probably like in total probably like 8 hours, but 8 hours over like 2 days to cut up into the thing and then to color it, and then effects took me like 3 weeks. Not necessarily because it's like I don't really know it's not because I don't know my way around After Effects. It's more because of just the monotony of fucking going in After Effects and then going like frame by frame, fucking going like frame by frame, do like mask edits and stuff. Like that's why I have so much respect for fucking King Zab. He does so much mask work that just is sounds like a fucking absolute nightmare. Yeah, and like yeah, no, I just that's kind of what I've been doing. So a lot of motion graphics. It's like almost all motion graphics. You will not see my face in this video. Maybe at the very end, maybe, but probably not. Like it's just going to be my voice, which I don't know if that's good or not. I don't know if I have an annoying voice or not. I can't really tell. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. After that though, like it's hard to talk about like what happens after that because it all depends on if it goes well. If that video does well, then I'm gonna just make more of that because I really like making it. It's just it takes a really long time to make it. Well, if it's just me and if I'm working a second job, then it takes a long time. But if it was just me and I was like doing YouTube full time or like editing other people's videos full time, I could probably bang one out like once a month. I could probably scooch the time up. But as it stands right now, it takes for fucking ever. I started this video probably like 2 weeks ago and I'm about halfway done with it. That's just because I've had like certain nights where I try to work on it like a little bit every day because I don't want to burn myself out. And the way I burn myself out is if I'm like, I want to get this done tonight, and I fucking spend 10 to 12 hours fucking editing. I have some nights where I'm like that, where I just hyperfixate, and like, it's good when it's a client because then I'm not watching myself, and like, it makes me less angry, and it makes me less likely to burn out because I'm not watching my own content. When I'm editing myself, I burn myself out really fast. And so I've been trying instead the other strat, which is do at least a little bit every day. I'm not going to do anything today though because I've been busy all day, and I'm okay. Here's the other thing. Last week at my day job, 3 out of my 5 in total, 5 including me, 3 out of the 5 people who work in my department went on vacation. I don't know why fucking HR decided that that was a cool idea. But whoever did it, I'm angry. Because not only that, but they had to like butcher their own fucking like vacation time. They all asked for that week off. So one of my coworkers got like a bit of the first part of the week. One of my coworkers got like the like middle of the week, and one coworker got like the entire week. I don't know why. I don't know why. So whatchamacallit, what was it? So last week I was working like overtime. I worked like almost 50 hours. It was grueling. It was a little much. Because I was like staying late every day because we weren't getting done on time, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. But it made it so that I didn't really have time to do much else other than try to make more progress on my doc, which I got a whole because I split this doc up into parts. So if you hear me say like part 1, part 2, it's not like different videos. It's just I sectioned the doc off to work in with After Effects in, because it just works easier for my brain if I section it. If people look at my timelines, I do that a lot too. I section it because it makes it easier for my brain to like give me serotonin if I can see I'm making progress. Because if it's all one big clump, I won't recognize that there's progress until like I'm halfway, which can get really toxic for myself. I can get really toxic to myself if I'm in that mindset. So I try not to let myself do that. So which is why I got done with part 3 last week. I worked on it like a little bit every day throughout the entire week. And I got done with it. And then yesterday and Saturday I worked on part 4 a bit, and then today I'm not working on it, but tomorrow I'm going to finish it and start part 5. That's the plan, at least. But yeah, last week wasn't able to get. I was just trying to focus on getting more of it done, and I kind of neglected my podcast. So if you're wondering why I'm doing another solo episode like so soon, it is because I know there's like a bunch. There's some people who want to come on, and I'm like literally anytime. If any of you are watching, 8 minutes in, first of all, God bless you. But second of all, if you're an artist and you want to come on, just message me. Just DM me on Twitter or Instagram, or if you're on my Facebook, on my personal Facebook, just message me. I'm down to have anybody on. But it made it so that it made me so drained that I didn't want to reach out to people and be like, hey, come on my podcast. So I just didn't get any guests. And I am currently recording this at 5 a.m. on Tuesday. If you know anything about my podcast, if you've ever seen or listened to it before, I post on Tuesdays, generally around 10 a.m. Usually 8 a.m. for the audio, 10 a.m. for the video, somewhere around there. So yeah. Yeah, we're doing good, man. We're doing good. So let's talk about music. We're 10 minutes into a music podcast and I haven't mentioned music. Just been bitching about editing in my job. So let's talk about music. So let's talk about that Lorna Shore track. Everybody's upsetty about it. Everybody has very strong opinions about it. And my opinion is it's fine. I don't know. I think it's fine. I'm not like it's not like it's God's gift to Earth. It's a Lorna Shore track. Like, it's pretty good. I don't know. I don't get the whole like huge reaction people have. They're like, oh, it's so generic. I'm like, bro, listen. I'm gonna be honest. You're listening to Lorna Shore. You're not getting much in the sense of like outlandishness or like experimentation. You're really not. It's Lorna Shore. They're good. They're good. They're meat and potatoes. They're good shit, but you're not getting anything like profound or interesting, really. I mean, you're getting like whatever flavor of the month they've decided to do for their song, like whether it be black and deathcore or straight deathcore or MySpace or whatever. You're getting that. Like, I don't know. People are so mad because they're like, it's such a fucking boring song, and other people are like, no, the breakdown's actually really interesting and it does a lot. And I was like, it's fine. I don't know. There's a great video that Tyler Rossau made on the topic, actually, on the Lorna Shore's breakdown, and I watched it. It made me appreciate it a little bit more. But it's at the end of the day, it's just it's a fucking Lorna Shore track. I don't know what to tell you, guy. Like, it's still like just black and deathcore. I don't know. I listen. I like deathcore as much as the other guy. That's how I got into extreme music. Is I heard Suicide Silence, and I kind of slingshotted my way into grindcore from there. Like, I love deathcore, but you have to admit that deathcore is not that interesting. It's really not. It is literally just like, take the parts of metalcore that aren't melodic, take like the focus on rhythm, take breakdowns, take the strumming patterns, and then take like the style of death metal, make everything over exaggerated, gory, satanic, like have there be faster parts in it, and then like just make them fucking have baby, and that's how you get deathcore. It's not that interesting. It's like listen, guy, it's like taking fucking bone broth and dunking a fucking potato in it. It's like, yeah, it's fine, but they're both pretty average. Like, I don't know, I like bone broth and I like potatoes, but like, fuck, man, it's not that interesting. You know what I mean? Because metalcore and death metal are like two of the most like kind of predictable genres of music, I think. I like metalcore and I like death metal, but they're not that. If you're talking on the grand of experimentation, on that kind of outlook on it, it's not that interesting. It's fine. It's fine. Who cares? I don't know. I think a lot of people. I think that all the people who say it sucks are only listening to like Chon and Dance Gavin Dance and any of the swancore kind of bands, which Dance Gavin Dance is too, and like Polyphia. They're like all the like fucking prog kids that are in the scene, and all the people who say it's God's gift to Earth are all the people who listen to deathcore and metalcore and fucking like, you know, that stuff, beat down tempo, you know, which is fine. All those genres are fine and they're all good, but I think that because that's mainly what a lot of those people who have very strong opinions on it listen to, I think that's why they're so up in arms about it, is because the like prog people are like, yo, this isn't like interesting and weird, I don't like it. And all the other people are like, yo, this is really good, I really like it, and fuck anyone who says otherwise. And it's like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's fine. I don't know, I never got it. It's fine. That's another thing we could talk about, though, if we're talking about genericism, is I've been seeing a lot of talk recently. Well, really, I've been talking to my dad a lot, and we've been kind of talking about like punk bands and stuff. We've been talking about like punk music and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I was kind of talking about like, he started talking to me about hyperpop because he watches my videos, and that makes me very happy. And he was talking to me a little bit about hyperpop and how like he doesn't really know what it sounds like, but by the way I describe it, it sounds interesting. And I was like, yeah, they're like, in a way it's kind of, in a way it's kind of like the new punk, in a way, like in attitude and just in general, like anti-music, like kind of a way. It's kind of like how grindcore is like the kingpin of anti-music right now, which it should be. But like, I think hyperpop is kind of similar to that, and it's overly sarcastic. It's not super like experimental in the sense of like proggy. It's not like really proggy. It has pretty normal, like the only thing that's really super experimental about it is generally the soundscape that the artist makes. Like 100 gex by itself is not that interesting. It's the sounds that Dylan and Laura both make that make it interesting. The chord progressions are fine. They're nothing to be like there's nothing wrong with the chord progressions. They're all good, but I don't think it's like groundbreaking necessarily. I think it's all good, but it's not like overly complicated or complex. They have like the attitude of punk where it's like kind of fuck you if you don't understand me kind of a thing. They're all LGBTQ plus. There's a lot of minorities in the community as well that are getting big, which I really like. Like, I don't know. I think personally that hyperpop, in a way, is similar to punk. In a way, it's at least in the same ballpark. Like, there's this great folk punk band. Fuck, who was it that did that cover? Sorry, give me a second. I need to look this up. Folk punk 100 gex. Yeah, Window Smashing Job Creators, that's who it was. Jesus, I don't know how I couldn't remember Window Smashers. But yeah, the Window Smashing Job Creators did a cover of a Stupid Horse song of Stupid Horse by 100 gex. And I remember that got posted in a couple of the DIY like chat room groups that a lot of folk punk kids hang out in. And someone made a meme of like, oh, is 100 gex important to punk now or whatever? And then somebody else posted the meme like always was or whatever. And it was like, and I was like, yeah, I mean, they always were. Come on. Like, they occupy that same space that punk did back in the day. They really do. I think folk punk is different because I think folk punk occupies a different space than what more traditional punk did. I mean, it's the same ballpark. I think they live in the same neighborhood. They're just not the same house. You know what I mean? Like, in the sense of like what it serves. Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just biased because I'm in the folk punk community and I see a little bit more about it, but like, to me, I think it's a bit different, and not in a bad way. I think it just has very similar things that it does, but they're all just a little bit different. So I think that's one thing to think about is like, I think the one thing that I'm like really happy and excited about in terms of like music nowadays is how much like new genres kind of pop, and then if they pop, they fucking pop. Like, again, I talked about this a little bit in the hyperpop podcast I did last time. I think it was like 3 episodes ago. But by God, does fucking hyperpop not just fucking kick ass? And not only that, it's weird and experimental. But not only that, it's getting popular. I am seeing more mentions of hyperpop on random like music boards that aren't related to hyperpop more and more and more and more frequently. Like I'm seeing like, because there's general like hyperpop community boards and stuff like that, because it's a genre spawned from the internet, so obviously there's going to be forums and groups and stuff like that. But I'm seeing it more in like death grip postings and like whatchamacallit, not Kiro Benito like postings, like fucking bedroom pop postings. Like, I'm seeing it more and more bubble up into the general like colloquially like like the vernacular of the general music fans. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anybody who's listening to like radio hits is gonna hear 100x anytime soon, but I think more people who are like music fans are hearing them. I don't know if they necessarily like them, but they're hearing them, which is sick. I like that. um, let's pivot really quickly away from hyperpop, because I feel like every time I do a solo episode, I talk about hyperpop. Oh, fun fact: this shirt, the "I'm Dead Inside" shirt, this is the shirt I wore for every show that I did as the vocalist for Scourged. So that's pretty neat. I have so much sweat, like just in this shirt. I mean, obviously I've washed it. I hope. One could hope. You never know. I am folk punk, so you never know. But yeah, no, I wore this shirt for every show. So like even like some of my most like proud moments is in this fucking stupid ass shirt. It's so dumb. It just for audio listeners, it is a shirt that just says "I'm dead inside" in bubble letters, with a couple dolphins smiling and a smiling sun. So now you know my sense of humor. Like 3 years ago. Something else I wanted to talk about as well, just a little bit away from that. Man, what else is there? What else has been going on music wise recently? I don't know. Man, I really don't know. Oh, Corky. I think that's how you spell it, how you say the name. Corky. It's like Corky but Cork. They are that is Ian MacKay's new project. I think it was his wife. If I remember correctly, I may be wrong about that, but it's Ian MacKay's new band, and I mean, I thought it was pretty good. There's a couple of songs in there I really liked. Some of the songs are really long and don't really feel that well fleshed out. But I mean, if you like Fugazi's kind of like style, later years style, like kind of after Steady Diet of Nothing, like if you like that kind of style of Fugazi, you'll probably like them. They're pretty good. I thought they were pretty good, at least. I was really happy to see that Ian was getting back into music, even if it was for like a quote unquote side project, you know? Let's see. Is this full thing out yet? It is. Although, man. The Sea Space Cowboy and If I Die, a little short EP. That one's pretty good too. I liked it. I wish it was longer. That was my only complaint, is that I wish that EP was longer, because I love If I Die First and I love Sea Space Cowboy. So it's just kind of sad that it was not as long. I'm just scrolling through my Spotify and talking about stuff that jumps out at me. Ooh, let's talk about Victims. Victims Volume 4 is going to be out soon. I'm so fucking pumped for it, because the last couple of like Victims tracks that I've released have been really cool. If you haven't checked them out, VCTMS Victims, without the eyes, their last couple of singles have been fucking killer. They also did a really good cover of Disaster Pieces by Slipknot, so gotta love that. But yeah, Pull from the Hurt, Hell is Other People, like, yeah, no, just fucking absolute fucking sick. Oh, and yeah, Pull from the Hurt, Hell is Other People, I think New Face, Same Loneliness, yeah, and then Carefully Caged, but that came out a while ago, but that's not gonna be on the album too. So just chef's kiss, like, fuck, dude. I cannot sing Victims' praises enough. They're fucking fire. I love them with all my heart. Good people, good music, great metalcore. If you want some metalcore that's interesting and different, Victims is a great pick. What else? We could talk about Brockhampton a little bit. According to some interviews, this next album that they put out is going to be their last. I think that that's a good idea, personally, because I love Brockhampton, but big but I feel like the longer they have been going on, they have been slowly descending into like just another rap group. I don't know. I like this new album. What was it? Roadrunner. What was it? Roadrunner New Light. Like I really liked Roadrunner New Light. I thought it was great. But I can feel like, okay, great example. Saturation 1, 2, and 3. I never checked to see how far along I was in the track list while listening to it. I never checked it. That's how I know that an album's like not as good as I maybe want it to be, is if I have to check the track list to see like how many more songs are there. Am I almost done? Like, you know. And then Iridescence, I didn't have to check. Ginger, I checked, but it was like the second song away from the end. Roadrunner, I checked like halfway through, and I was like, holy shit, there's still half an album. But so I love Brockhampton. I want more music from them, but I think it's for the best that they end on a high note in terms of like quality and kind of split off from there. Because also, I really like a lot of the guys' solo work. All the ones who have solo work, I really like them. I love Kevin's solo work. I love Merlin's solo work. I think he has a song or some shit. I don't know. I like all their solo work, so I'm excited to see that too. I'm excited to see what they all do when they have full time to put into their solo work. I don't know. I think that's mainly it, but from like new stuff. Yeah, no, it's music right now is, it's weird because like it's weird being into music right now, especially into like alternative music right now, because we are so close to being like able to do shows again and stuff, but like still gotta wait a couple months. Like bands are starting to announce tours for like the end of July and like beginning of August and September and stuff like that. So they're all announced, and as long as the lockdown, like as long as the I forget what they're called, but the lockdown level doesn't revert, we should still be good for them. But it is not like soon enough that I'm like, yes, we're out of this. It's like, fuck, there's still time for this to get fucked up. God damn it. And plus, all the bands who have announced that are like coming through are not really bands I want to see live necessarily, except for one. Amigo the Devil is coming with Tejon Street Corner Thieves, and I like both those bands a lot, so I think I'm gonna go see them. But who knows? Maybe a bunch of dumbasses start spreading COVID again. I got my second vaccination, so, and you should too. And I got it late. Because I didn't know if my work was providing it, or not providing it, but providing me with a place to go for it, to get it for them, or if like, I didn't know what was happening, if they were gonna like require it or not, or whatever, so I didn't get it for a bit, but I got it as soon as I got back from Montana. So I got the first shot, and then I got the second shot on the 10th. So I'm feeling good. Just gotta wait another like week before it's like fully in effect. So that's cool. What else can I yammer about for this much, for a longer period of time? What are some other good topics I can talk about? You know what? I'll talk about this. I've been wanting to get more and more into jazz recently. I like jazz a lot, but I've always been a fan of like coffee shop jazz. I don't know why, but like really chill, smooth, like slow jazz I've been a fan of for like last year and a half or so. But I really want to get into more like of the experimental, like faster, more like groovy stuff, because I don't know, I've just been wanting to. Like I've been listening to a lot, even though he's not jazz, I've been listening to a lot of Thundercat recently. Even though he's not necessarily jazz, you could argue that some of his songs are R&B, but most of his work I feel like is jazz. So, but I've been getting really, really into jazz recently. I've been wanting to get more into like the experimental, weird side of jazz. So I don't know. I need to do some research on that, but my time is so like fucked and booked right now that's like it's a little hard to do that. So yeah, no, I really like. I used to really like a good jazz song, like good slow jazz, like some shit you'd hear in like Starbucks, like the whitest of white. Like how white could you make this music? Is how I liked it at the time, and it's dumb because I normally don't do that with music. I usually want the weirdest shit in the genre the soonest. But I think the reason why is because I really like to fall asleep to jazz back in the day, especially when I was drunk. I really like to fall asleep to jazz when I was like drunk or inebriated. So, but now I don't really fall asleep to music. I fall asleep to podcasts because I need to feel like I'm not the only one in the room. So I've stopped listening to music for sleep. So in turn, I've been listening to a little bit less jazz because of that, but I've still just been like, it's good jazz. So I put on whatever coffee shop bullshit I have. But then I'm like, fuck, I want more. And I want the weirder shit. I don't know. I'm gonna take this off. I'm not talking to anybody. I don't know why I had it on. I can take this off too. Oh, that looks gross. I need to cut my hair as well. Not the long side, the short side. Anyways. Yeah, no, I think I need to just sit down and put in the work and look up some like go on some forums and find some weird bands that people like. I think that's just what I need to do at this point. Or because I mean I have some friends who are into jazz. I could ask my brother. My brother really likes jazz. I'm sure if I'd ask him, he'd like be so happy. But I just haven't yet because I haven't really had the brain cells to invest into like getting more into a weird style of music. So I just haven't yet. But yeah. Um, been getting more into rap recently though, which is sick. Cause I really like rap. Rap is sick. I don't know. It like a good rap song is hard to beat. You know what I mean? Like either a fun rap song or like a really good rap song is like really hard to beat. Like throwing on MF Doom for like a car ride, that's hard to beat. On the inverse, throwing on like a Rico Nasty song on a car ride, hard to beat because they're both great, but for different reasons. Rico like really captures like the feeling. Like she knows what the fuck she's talking about, and she really captures like the vibe she's trying to um, portray in the song like perfectly. On the flip, MF Doom like he really is just like the most profound, prolific writer like fucking ever for that style of music. Like I mean, there's a reason why every like huge rapper right now, not even right now, like for the last like 5-10 years, have been like MF Doom's the guy that got me started on this. Like he's my biggest inspiration. Like there's a reason for that. You don't get that title just to like cause you're fucking around, you know? It's like nowadays people still even are like when like metal bands are asked like, oh, what's your biggest inspiration? People are still like, oh, Metallica. And that's not because like it's not even because like, oh, they're the big band, that's the one everybody knows. It's because like no, Metallica did things and they did things pretty well, I feel like. You know, I'm not a fan of Metallica personally. But if you're into metal and you're into that, like, into like thrashy kind of shit or like hard rock kind of shit, then like, yeah, Metallica's great. They got that market fucking cornered, baby. That was always my favorite thing when I was younger. ADD tangent. When I was younger, um, my school computer, my school's like education block or whatever was not the hardest to bypass. And so I would bypass it and get onto YouTube. And on YouTube, I would listen to interviews from a bunch of bands that I liked. And they were all like, the question always comes up like, oh, what's your biggest inspiration? It's like the question, the next biggest question is, oh, what's that name? What's your band name mean? You know, sometimes it's like, I don't know, it sounded sick. Like, here's in the meaning to like scourged, for instance. It just sounds sick. It just means you got like whipped bloody. Like, that's fucking metal. uh, Saying that's so metal is such a cringe thing to say, dude. But like, that's how metal bands pick names. Almost no metal bands pick a name like, oh, this means something to me. They pick a band name because it sounds sick, Um, but I would listen to like metal bands talk about like their inspirations, and most would say like, Metallica, Anthrax, Slayer, like, you know, fucking anything. I already thought you looked like the type of that to listen to metal, and the first thing I hear is metal. Yeah, I am the type that listens to punk and metal a lot. I like music in general though. Like a couple minutes ago, I was talking about rap and how it's hard to beat like a really good rap song, like Rico Nasty or MF Doom. Like, they're great for different reasons, but it's hard to beat like that sort of like, dichotomy. Like, the dichotomy between the two is huge. Yeah, Wu-Tang as well. Tu Wang. Like, it's hard to beat. Like, even like I'll have like my metal friends. I'll have people from my local scene over, like some band members and stuff from my local scene over, and I'll like we listen to like metal all fucking day, and they'll throw on like, MF Doom, Wu Tang, NWA, like whatever the fuck, and the whole vibe of the room is just like, oh yeah, this is good shit. I forgot that this exists. It's great. Like, I don't know, it's hard to beat a really, really, really good rap song. Like, it's similar to how I feel about EDM and like electronic music. Is mayonnaise an instrument? I don't know. Is it? Like, it can be. I actually, you know what? There has to be some like shitty, like grindcore band that's used mayonnaise as an instrument. Hey, thanks, man. Like, there has to be some like just absolute shitter, like lo-fi made for $2. Yeah, some like crunkcore shit. That's I forgot about crunkcore. Oh no. There has to be some like some grindcore band that's just been like, what if we slapped a mayonnaise, like a thing of mayonnaise, just really hard? One band, Hollywood Undead. Oh fuck. One of my really close friends still listens to Hollywood Undead. I won't leak though, because I don't know if he wants that to be out. um yeah, no, like, it's kind of what I was talking about with rap though. Sorry to go on a huge tangent. Is like with rap, it's hard to beat. It's really hard to beat like a really good rap song. It's the same thing with kind of like EDM and electronic music in general, is that like there's so much like just kind of shitter, like kind of shitty EDM and like IDM and just general electronic music. There's so much like garbage floating at the top that it's really hard to get to the good stuff and find the really, really, really good shit that is in that genre. But if you find it, it's like, oh, this is the fucking best. You went through the Hollywood Undead phase, dude. I did too. I did too. Don't worry. I was fucking singing. God, what was my favorite song? Hold up. Let me find my fucking favorite song really quickly, so I could talk about Hollywood Undead. Fuck me, dude. Oh my god, they have so many albums now. What the fuck? This is weird. Oh, dude. I had so many sketches of Johnny Three Tears too. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, dude, I feel it though. I feel it. Okay, so Swan Songs, Notes from the Underground, American Tragedy. Was this the one? No. Okay, this is the one with Bullet on it. There wasn't Bullet. I think it was in Swan Songs. Yeah, Johnny was at the time my favorite out of all of them. I feel like I think, fuck, where was it? Is it dead? No. Oh, you know what? I think it was We Are. I think We Are was my favorite song by them, which is upsetting. Yeah, Swan Songs was, well, yeah, Sean Green, yeah, no, but yeah, I think We Are is probably was probably my favorite song by them. I remember when I heard it, it was like right towards the end of my Hollywood and Dead phase, and I was just like, oh man, this is sick. I like this, and then the rest of the album was like, eh, but that one I was like, oh, this is the best. Um, God, Hollywood and Dead, what a relic. So my partner, they never went through an emo phase or like I mean they went through like a black metal phase, but they never really went through like an emo phase or post hardcore phase or anything like that. They got into industrial very early on, and that's what they really like is industrial. And so, yes, mayhem. And God, there's the first album by Mayhem is just the quintessential black metal album, I feel like. But they really got into industrial, and so they never heard like a lot of these emo bands that I grew up listening to in like the late 2000s and stuff. So like I one night we were up, um yeah, that does say it. I feel you. Can't remember the song, the only Hollywood Dead song that you still like. Yeah, I feel you. I had to go look, so I get you, man. um, but recently I went through and like showed them a bunch of my old like emo bands, and like it was so funny seeing their reaction, dude. It was so funny. J3T is such a dick IRL. I've heard that. I've heard stories of people saying that Johnny's like just a huge fucking dickhead IRL, which honestly doesn't shock me. I'm not usually one for like judging someone's music as like kind of their personality, because I feel like a lot of some artists, it doesn't really say much about them, like whatever kind of music they make. Like I've met a lot of the guys from Cannibal Corpse a couple of times, and they, as far as I know, were all lovely people, at least to me. I mean, obviously one of them got arrested, but my buddy had to drive him somewhere, and he threw a bottle against another car. He yelled a lot and puked at one point. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds about right. It's funny because like I really like the genres that I end up being really involved with in terms of like community is like hardcore and punk. So like for me, a lot of my experience with band members have been very wholesome. I feel like there's been a couple that were like, okay, man, like whatever. But like most of the time, like I talked to Tyler from oh, you got into metal in February. Really? So you're kind of newer into this. Hell yeah, I like that. That's awesome. Um Dude, oh man, I can't even imagine like what, oh man, that's awesome. I don't know, they kind of broke my brain for a second here because you knew about Hollywood and Dead. And I haven't thought about Hollywood and Dead in like years, so I don't know. Anyways, um what was I, what the fuck was I saying? Oh yeah. So I'm like, for me, now don't recommend me bands. I grinded hard. Yeah, that's fair. Dude, I love when people send me bands, but sometimes I get so burnt out. Like I love my brother Cooper. He's probably listening, but I always listen to everything he sends me, but a lot of the time I just fucking bookmark it and like go back to it later. Ginger, okay. So you're okay. I kind of get your shit. Yeah. Ginger's awesome. A great if you kind of want to go down a similar, I don't know if you heard of Spirit Box. They're also kind of in that like same universe of like kind of genty metalcore kind of sound, and they're like I don't know, I really like them. I usually listen to newer groove metal. Oh, nice. And yes, nice. New metal is I have a video about new metal actually. I don't know if you'll agree. I don't think you'll agree with me about it though. um I had a lot of opinions about new metal because I grew up listening to it too. um, and oh man, new metal. Such a weird genre that it's out of all the metal genres going on at that time. I it still shocks and amazes me that that's the one that gained like universal mainstream like fame. It's so interesting to me because I feel like there were other my friend, oh boy, he's a gent. Oh man, yeah, gent. Oh man, this you bring back so many memories of me like finding new bands. Um, dude, so man, sorry, my brain is like overloading right now of all the things I'm trying to say and think of. Oh, you found an underground band recently. Do tell. What's the band? I might know of them. I recently, what was the newest band I kind of got really into that's a bit smaller? I don't talk about a lot. Oh, this one's good. Svengal. Oh, Svengali. I haven't heard them. I'm gonna copy that name and put it in my notes app, wherever the fuck that went. There we go. Okay. They have like 90 listeners. There's this. I don't know if you'll like this because it's grindy. It's very grindy. Um, there is a band from I think my friend said SoCal. It's either NorCal or SoCal, so I'm not 100%. But I think they're generally California, and it's pretty underground. They're it's called Mescaline Maniacs. They're pretty good. That's I think the most recent like underground band I've gotten into. They're like kind of grindcore beatdown. They're interesting. Look, if I listen to this Infinite Annihilator, I can withstand it. That is very fair. That is very, very fair. Okay, I actually have a question for you. I had a friend back in the day who got really, really into who didn't like music before listening to metal, like didn't find anything that he liked. This is in high school, and he got I tried to show him a bunch of metal, and the only thing he liked was Marilyn Manson and one Rob Zombie song. So I was like, oh, I could show you more like kind of new metal, alternative metal kind of stuff. And I remember one day I had my phone on shuffle, and it was or my iPod Touch, I guess, for the time on shuffle, um, and a Mayhem song came up, and he was like, "Oh, what's that?" And I was like, "It's black metal. Don't worry about it." He was like, "No, no, I really like that." So I showed him like Dark Throne, and I think I showed him Oathbreaker. I think it's either Oathbreaker or it was fuck, what was that? What was that band? The other black metal band I really really like. Either Oathbreaker or Zather, one of those two. And he was like, "Oh man, I really really like this." So this was in the course of like a week that this happened. I like showed them Marilyn Manson and Rob Zombie like earlier in the week, and then later in the week he said he really liked Mayhem and Dark Throne. Never heard it before. So he went from like 0 to a fucking 100 really really quickly, because most people when they get into alternative music, especially like heavy alternative music or experimental music, is it's kind of like a graph. It just goes up and up and up and up and up, and slowly you get more into the weird shit. Like for me, I started with emo and with like kind of alt rock and kind of pop punk kind of stuff, and slowly built myself up to being really into grindcore and everything I'm into right now. And like, so I was curious. I was very curious. Were you the kind of person who was like him, where he went 0 to 100 really quickly, or did you kind of like slowly build yourself up over the last couple months, getting into more weirder and weirder music? I saw that someone built a guitar out of their Uncle Skeleton and played Dark Throne on it. I did see that. I saw that recently. You built up. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. See, that's the normal thing, because I feel like a lot of people did that. Like a lot of my friends have done that. Either they grew up with it or they built up slowly. There's like I've met probably like 4 people who are just like, no, I just really like grindcore. I don't like anything else. I just really like grindcore. And I'm like, are you fucking insane? But okay, that's fine. Like if you end up building up and then only really liking grindcore, that's fair. But I feel like if you go from like listening to radio hits to really liking like fucking let's think. You go from liking I have my Spotify open, so I'm just looking. Yeah, if you go from liking radio hits to liking fucking Worm, for instance, or fucking like Hypocrisy, then it's like, whoa, guy. Or Life Lover, it's like, whoa, guy. That's fucking weird. Before that, I listened to shitty pop only. No, I feel you. I like some Billie Eilish songs personally. I'm a huge fan of bedroom pop. I actually really 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 like bedroom pop. Um, but I think it's weird because I went up into alternative music, and only recently, well, not recently, I think over the last like 2 years, I've been able to like kind of pull back and you know what? No, I was in a band when I started doing this, so it must have been 3 or 4 years. I've been like slowly pulling back and liking more like chill music as well. So like I've been getting really into bedroom pop, really into folk, really into jazz. Really it's into some pop, not a lot, not radio hits, but like like art pop and stuff like that. Um, I think I think it's I think it's a good thing. I feel like Billie Eilish is Manson and Rob if they would make pop. Yeah, 100%. Like she is basically the alternative version of like what a pop artist would be. Dude, I felt so okay. Can we go back a couple years when she won best? Like what was it? What did she win? She won like fuck. What was the Grammy she won? Billie Eilish Grammy. I feel like what she win? She won something having to do with like metal, like best rock album or some shit. Fuck, what was it? She won like some kind of like metal or rock thing at the Grammys. I think it was rock. And like you could see on her face that she was like, no, don't fucking give this to me. I don't make rock music. Because like she's obviously into that, like that shit too. Hello Fred. She's obviously into that stuff too. And so it's like I felt for her so badly because I was like, oh man, she does not want to be there. She does not want to be in that category. Then I went through my All I Want Dead phase, decided I wanted heavier shit, and got into soft Slipknot songs, like hey, listening to Dead Memories for 30 minutes straight every day. Oh man, I do that too sometimes. When I find a new song, I listen like to an obsession to it. Like there's what song has it been recently for me? It's been Down.exe by Rav Kill Bill and Square. I think that's how you pronounce his name, Square. And fucking probably if I dude there's this song I've been listening to like on repeat called Letter from Death Row by Amigo the Devil. The most depressing song ever. So fucking depressing. But I keep listening to I keep hurting myself. Then I wanted to try Disaster Pieces, Worst Mistake in My Life. Yeah, okay. It's hard to build up that quickly. I know what you mean. Because when I was only into emo and post-hardcore, like Census Fail, Silverstein, that kind of stuff. And then I immediately went and listened to Killswitch Engaged. And for me, at the time, when I was like 13, 12, that was too heavy. Like, that was way too much for me at the time. I didn't know it was that heavy and only lasted 5 seconds. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's tricky, man. Like, cause it's tricky. Yeah, no, I went way too fast up. Listened to Killswitch Engaged, which is like a very normal metalcore band. It's hardly even metalcore. It's like it's older style metalcore. It's like mid 2000s metalcore. It wasn't even like the fun kind of metalcore like Converge or The Chariot. Killswitch is great. But when I switched over to it too quickly, my brain was like, this is too heavy, this is too much. Which is hilarious to think about now with the bands that I'm into now. Lamb of Jesus. I saw Lamb of God. God, that's weird. I think I saw them at Pain in the Grass a couple years ago. Was it? No, God, it was like a while ago actually. I think it was when I was 18, so that was like Oh god, was that 5 years ago? Oh shit. Yeah, but I saw Lamb of God. That was a they have a great live show. They have a really really good live show. You know who else has a killer live show that you wouldn't necessarily think would? Um, it's a bit controversial. Marilyn Manson. I saw him like probably same like probably 5 years ago. I think they were actually um at the same Pain in the Grass that Lamb of God was, but on a different date. Dude, he is a pretty good live show. I mean, he's a piece of shit, but he has a great live show. My friend still doesn't understand metal. A lot of people don't, and I think I tell her like I like Mayhem, and she says I want to burn down Christian churches with them. I mean, like, is that a bad thing though? Let's be real, especially in Norway. I think it's hard to get people to understand metal because I know what you mean. I had a lot of friends who didn't really like metal, but the thing I've always held is that there's always an artist in every genre of music that you will like, no matter what. They did go 0 to 100 real quick. There's always a band or artist in every single genre of music that you will like. Maybe not subgenre wise, but like if we're talking broad strokes, like metal, for instance, not necessarily talking like you'll like a band in new metal and metalcore and death metal and whatever. Um, but like I think because like I show my friends who are into metal who are more like because I also like a lot of video games. I have a lot of friends who are just not into music but they're into gaming, and I show some of my friends like there's this one friend I have, one of my favorite human beings on the planet. And he always was like okay with metal, but he never really nothing ever really jumped out at him necessarily. But like 2 years ago, I remember I was picking him up from work, and I put on a Monolord, which is like stoner doom music. It's very good. It's like a heavier Black Sabbath. Insane. Love them. Um, and I showed I was just like playing it, and like halfway through I noticed he was like just kind of like staring at my phone, and I was like, do you want to see what this band's called Monolord? And he was like, dude, this is like the best music you've ever played. Which was cool. So I was like, oh shit, you like this? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, yeah, let's run it. And so I showed him a bunch of like stoner doom bands, and now he's like super into stoner doom. He loves it because his big complaint with metal has been that it's not that he doesn't like the screaming, it's that he likes lyrics too much to like to he likes lyrics too much to overlook them. And so when it's screamed, he doesn't want to have to look up the lyrics, which is fine. I understand that because I like lyrics too. It's just I'd rather have a good vibe. So like I get it. But he liked the reason why I like stoner doom is because most of the bands use very minimal or no screamed vocals, and according to him, unlike emo or post-hardcore, which does the same, it doesn't sound like whiny as fuck. So he really liked it, which made me really happy. And he still throws on Monolord and Electric Wizard all the time. So that's sick. That's the weird thing. She likes Slipknot songs, and then she says she doesn't. She doesn't because her parents refuse to let her listen to it. Ah, yeah. My family, my mom specifically tried to make that a thing, but my dad was like a punk in the '80s, so he's fucking showing me like Dead Kennedy tracks, when when I was like a kid. So yeah, that wasn't really ever in the books for me. But I think that everybody has a band or an artist in every genre of music that they would like. Like a great example is that everybody's like, oh, you like country, Sweaty? Gross. And it's like, okay, guy, I get if you don't like stadium country, that's like really popular right now, but you cannot tell me that Johnny Cash is fucking sick. Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, there's a couple others that are more modern that my brother showed me that he really likes. I just can't remember the name of them right now off the top of my head. But like dude, like Johnny Cash is basically like he had the punk mentality but played country music. That's sick. He played at prisons and started riots. Like that's fucking sick. I don't know. I think that you have to be really really narrow minded to not like a genre, based off the stereotypes of that genre. If you haven't found anything in a particular genre yet, I don't blame you, because it's hard. You may not, you may just be very particular about that genre. But if you're like, I don't like EDM because I don't like raves, it's like, yeah, me neither, sweaty. But I like some EDM. You know, there's some good house music out there. You know, it's I don't know. I think closed-mindedness is a really big issue with people who are into music. I feel like a lot of people are like too close-minded, especially in the metal community. The metal community, I would argue, is the worst about it next to rap. It's like metal and rap are both the worst when it comes to only liking a very specific genre of music. Your mom introduced you to Motley Crue and Limp Bizkit? That's sick. My dad really liked Rage Against the Machine and System of a Down a lot, so he showed me them too. Which is kind of ironic, because like he's showing. I had no idea what like Serge was talking about or what Zach De La Rocha was talking about, but I was just like, yeah, man, you talk real good. Yeah, that's fair. That is very fair. God, like, okay, really quickly, right before I end this off, I'm going to talk a little bit about fucking reaction channels. Can we stop this whole thing? Because listen, I like, with YouTube, I generally watch a lot of like video essays and documentaries, especially about games. I really like watching people do in-depth dives on games that are really good. Like, I watched one recently. Hey, thank you, Fiery. I appreciate that. There is like I watch a lot of video essays. Like there's a couple by H Bomber guy that I really like. Thank you. And there is a couple by Salt Factory that I really like. But I really like watching video essays. It could be about anything, but I've been mainly in gaming recently. And but there's some, everybody has their trash that they watch or listen to, you know what I mean? Not necessarily like a shame pick or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, not necessarily something you listen to quietly in the corner, like, no one can know I like it. Not necessarily that, but like, something that you're like, okay, yeah, this isn't exactly the most artistic thing I'm listening to, or that I'm watching, but like, I'm gonna watch it because I want to. And like reality TV type of stuff where it's just like total trash, but like it's entertaining, so you watch it. So reaction videos to music that I like is kind of that for me. It is like 99% rap, although there is a they've been doing more of like the popular metal songs recently, because they realize that if they pander just enough to the metal audience, they get like a lot of clicks off of that, which is true, because anyone giving the metal community attention, we all jump on that because we're just like, fuck yeah, people like metal, let's go. Which is, I don't mind that. I don't mind them pandering, it's fine. But I like watching them react to songs that I like. But I swear to fucking God, if I see another person, oh, thank you, Coco, I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot, thank you. If I see another fucking reaction channel talking about like, this is the first time I've ever heard Chop Suey by System of a Down, it's like, no, you haven't. No, this is not the first time. This is like your 8th time, at least. Everyone has heard that song. Everyone, especially people my age. People my, if you ever went to a fucking public school function, you heard that song. Like, it was everywhere. There is like, I don't understand these people who are like, this really popular song that like has over 150 million views, never heard of it. This is my first time listening to it. It's like, no, you are lying. You are lying. That's my opinion. I just think it's so like bullshit that like a lot of these people are like, yo, here's these really like, okay, a great one I see all the fucking time. First of all, a lot of Tool songs, which again, no. That's all I'm gonna say. No, you've heard a Tool song before. Like Nirvana. Like, like let's look at this. First time hearing Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit's reaction. No, I don't believe you. I don't believe you've never heard Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. These people in the here, hold up. Let me switch over really quickly. These people in the fucking thumbnail are like older than I am. That one. Like these people are like these ones right here. These ones. They look about my age. Maybe a couple years older. You have heard It Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana. That song has like millions of views. Like, hold up. Like, dude, 1.2 billion views on just YouTube. You've heard Smells Like Teen Spirit. Can we stop pretending? Like, stop pretending. Like, Jesus Christ, man. I don't know. It gets me irked because I'm like, bruh, especially with Nirvana, because like I'm from Seattle. I live in Seattle. So I'm like, fuck you guys. Like you've heard our one thing. We have one thing. We have grunge, and that you've heard it. Come on. You know you have. I don't know. It gets me especially fucking torqued when people are like, "Oh, I've never heard that one before." And it's like, "Yes, no." Like from Turkey, and I heard it too. Yeah, exactly. Like my man's over here is from Turkey, like, and you've heard it. Yeah, like it's a huge song. It billions of views. You're from Germany. Yeah, like huge billions of views. Like 1.2 billion views on YouTube only. Like let's take a gander here. Okay. Let's take a Almost said it. Oh my god, that's so fucking funny. Okay, like hold on, okay, we're gonna go on my Spotify. Let's take a look-see at what was I looking at? Nirvana. Let's take a look-see. Bro, almost a billion on fucking Spotify. Oh my god, I don't understand that these people are like. You recently searched Hollywood Up. Yeah, that was because I was trying to find the song I was talking about that I really liked. Yeah, that's because I was trying to find a song recently when I was talking to you earlier today. Like almost a billion views on Spotify. You have heard Smells Like Teen Spirit. And you know what's funny is that like 80% of like these fucking people who are like, oh, first time, what was it? First time listening? Okay, stop. First time listening to Nirvana, like after the first riff, they're like, oh, I think I've heard this song before. Maybe it was like, fucking yeah, guy. That's true. Well, I guess right now it's 6 a.m. for me, so I don't know. It's like fuck. It gets me so torqued. It gets me irrationally angry for no reason at all, man. I don't understand why. Oh, it's 3 p.m. for you. Nice. How's your day been then? Yeah, no, it gets me so angry to see all these people who are like, oh, I've never heard Nirvana before. Who could have guessed? And it's like, yeah, if you're reacting to like Incesticide, I understand. Tired and exhausting. That's fair, man. I'm sorry about that. Like if you're reacting to Incesticide, which is like literally their B-sides of Nevermind, I get it. I understand. You probably haven't heard it unless you're like really into grunge music, or unless you're like into Nirvana or grunge music. If you're just like a passive hearer of that kind of style of music, I get it. You have to tell me something. What is it? What do you have to tell me? But like if you're talking about the biggest song, it's like, bruh, never finished listening to Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit. That's fine. You don't have to you don't have to finish the song. Just acknowledge that you've heard it. Like everybody's heard it. If you tuned into some like shitty backwoods like rock radio, you've heard it. Like, I don't know. Or if you've heard like there are commercials that use it. Like, bruh, I don't know. It makes me angry for some reason. I don't know why. It makes me like irrationally angry. It was a 50-minute long song, but didn't finish it. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. There's some black metal bands that I really like who do like ambient black metal, because that's my favorite style of black metal. But their songs are all like super long, and it's just like, it's a fucking schlep, dude. It's a schlep just to even get anywhere near to listening to it. It's like, just finish the song already, please. Love of God. Ooh, Punk Rock MBA released a new video. Oh boy, kind of actually on par with what we were talking about. If you don't know Punk Rock MBA, he's a great music creator. No, don't give me a fucking, my man. Why are you? Okay, I don't understand. Oh boy, what was I gonna say? I accidentally fell asleep to Cannibal Corpse. You'll do that. That'll happen occasionally. Like the great frame, but the truth about women in rock, specifically about Ginger and Spirit Box. Anyways, I just wanted to bring that up. Great creator, Punk Rock MBA, wonderful guy, very cool too. Met him a couple times. Anyways, though, yeah, I don't know. That's been a thing that's like been a pet peeve of mine for a while now. Definition of average. God, you cannot be fucking closer to the truth. You cannot be closer to the truth. Holy shit, you're so right. I saw them in concert once, and I was like, yeah, that's basically what I need. Yeah. Oh my God. They're like, I used to love death metal. I used to play in a death metal band. More specifically, I used to play in a metal death band. But fuck, man, it's so. I just can't. George Fisher versus Corey Taylor, let the necks fight. Yeah, true. God, they both got some thick ass necks. They both got some really thick necks. I feel like one of them has to be the father of Tyler Shelton, because he also has a thick neck. Tyler Shelton from Traders. Oh yeah, I'm still on this one. I'm sorry. Anyways, yeah, that's the podcast for the most part. I'm picturing two giraffes fighting. imagine imagine the girth of George Fisher and Corey Taylor's necks, but instead extended. So like they're really thin, like a shitty like plastic tree type of branch, like just like, you know, yay big. But like imagine just that, but thin, and then they fight. What's the map behind me? Oh, it's a thing I made, actually. I made this. Here, let me camera. Boop. Yeah, I made this in After Effects. I have a couple of them here. I'll change it actually right now. So I think it'll be funny. Let's do. I'm thinking purple. There we go. I made these all in After Effects. Hey, thank you, Massacre. I appreciate that. Yeah, George would accidentally smack Corey's neck off. Oh fuck. There's not really for Massacre. There's not really a good way to explain how I made it. It's kind of convoluted. You basically take a bunch of layers in After Effects and then like link them all to another source. You offset them, and then you put a couple effects on them, and it then you loop it, and this is basically what you get depending on how you offset them and stuff like that. Is you basically get shit like this. It's pretty cool though. Actually, I wonder if hold on. Maybe this is how I'll end the podcast. I wonder if I still have the project files for it so I can show you. If I still have the project files, I'll show you. Too bad Corey turned into a massive douche in the past 2 years. I mean, yeah, he has a massive mouse, but he went a bit overboard. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'm just tired of hearing him comment on literally everything having to do with mainstream metal. I don't really need to know what Corey thinks about whatever. Yeah, so I usually have a guest. I usually have a guest on my podcast. But that last week was like really insane for me because I have a day job because I'm a small streamer and I'm a small YouTuber. So I have a day job, but in my day job this last week was like really insane. So I normally have a friend on with me, like a guest from a band or who's like anyone. Basically, the ethos of it's called the wiretap. You get the logo. Where is it? Like there? Yeah. It's basically like bring on an artist of any size, and we'll talk. It doesn't matter what size they are, what their following is, and we'll talk. I think the last one I did was my buddy Ray from the band Cutout. You probably don't know who they are. They're a local band to Washington, but it was cool. Backgrounds. Let's see if I still have this. Hey, I do. Okay, here. I'll show you guys how I basically made this. Let me. Do you guys not? Why does it say that? What? Okay, well, I guess I'll just screen cap then. Display cap. First one. Okay. So yeah. Like Rock Feed, we get it. Corey is famous, but you don't literally have to dedicate the channel to him. Yeah, basically. That's the main thing that I don't like about Corey is just that, and also just like them saying like this album's gonna be heavier than Iowa, and it's like no, it's not. Let's stop pretending. It's fine. It's okay that you guys aren't gonna be heavier than Iowa. It's fine. I don't care. Is this it? No, this is the gradient. Okay, pre-comp, and then yeah. So this is how I did it. These are all just shape layers, like white shape layers, and then I basically took these and then flipped them vertically, so you get this, and then put some effects on them. What effects do I even have on these? I have mirror for that. Yeah, I have mirror on both of those. And then don't have anything on these. These I have just a lights. These are all just light sweeps. The red solids, just all light sweeps that loop. I enjoy Clown's music, but he recently put out he's gonna be a fucking toad. Oh my god. You enjoy Clown's music he put out recently? That's fair. I haven't heard any of it really, honestly. And then whatchamacallit? Yeah, and that's just a layer. And then I mirrored it, and then I basically put a CC lens on it, noise, tint, and then a glow and twirl, and it made this thing. So that's cool. Yeah, that's how I made a bunch of these. Anyways, back to just talking. So yeah, back to just talking. Put myself back over here. He created a YouTube channel where he puts on very weird shit. Nice. Then again, he's an artistic schizophrenic. Yeah, he basically is. He's a weird guy, man. I know a couple of my close friends are in a band called Avoid, and they opened for Slipknot like I want to say like 3 years ago on a Knotfest because they won a battle of the bands or some bullshit. And I mean, they're a good band, they deserve it, but like, you know, they won some shit. And apparently they said that Clown was like super nice. Like they said the rest of them were like pretty cool, but like they said that Clown was like a fucking wonderful human being. Yeah, no, they're very cool. They're a band called Avoid. Here, let me find them and throw them up on screen really quick. Void. They put out some really good shit, man. They actually recently just signed as well to Thriller Records, which is a subsidiary of Fearless Records. So that's pretty cool. No. No. Okay, that's better. Showed all of my OBS. I mean, luckily there's nothing that's like bad that's on there, but it showed all of my OBS. Yeah, this is a void. I went to high school with Benny, their vocalist, and Nick, their guitarist, and I've known Luke forever. They're really cool. They're cool guys. Did you know that the new Slipknot album, they're not gonna be with Road Record? Oh, really? That's interesting. That's fucking weird. I can't imagine them not with Road Record, because that was like their first. That was like the OG. Was Road Record. Roadrunner. Jesus. Did I just say Road Record like a bunch of times? Nice. That's weird though. They've been with Roadrunner since their first album. So that's gonna be. I wonder if it's actually gonna. I wonder how much their music's gonna change. That's gonna be weird. All right, I gotta edit this and put it out pretty much as soon as I'm done editing it. For anyone watching, thanks for watching, man. I appreciate it. Why are my commands not working? I guess they're not. That's really unfortunate. I'll just paste the links. Whatever. Fuck it. But I appreciate you watching, man. I appreciate talking with you. I think it's going to be emo considering they put a song out called Without the Gray on it. Ooh, yeah, that's true. Is it going to be like the actual Gray Chapter? I would really like if it was like what Gray Chapter should have been, because I think the Gray Chapter sucked, man. Clown prevented from putting it on the Gray Chapter. Oh, interesting. That's interesting. Song is way too personal for him. Oh, okay, that makes sense. If you want to follow my YouTube, I post a lot. I do a lot more there. I stream somewhat often. I haven't streamed recently because I've been working on a documentary I'm putting out on my YouTube channel, but that's where you can see my podcast and all that stuff if you're interested, as well as my video essays about music and stuff. I would say I'm more of a YouTuber, although I like streaming a lot. It's just I don't do it as often. It's probably going to be out around September. Shit, I'm actually kind of excited to see what they do. Is that weird? I'm excited to see how their style changes with getting off of Roadrunner. They'll finish recording it next month. Huh. Yeah, probably September or October then. Yeah, you're probably right. And if you just want to listen to my podcast, sorry, I don't mean to like redirect the conversation, but if you want to listen to my podcast, you can find my podcast there as well on audio and stuff, so you don't have to like be watching me and shit. But yeah, I'm gonna try to stream more often, and I don't know, I like doing just chatting, but it's also like the most awkward category to have like 0 viewers in, you know, because like if I'm playing games and I have 0 viewers, it's like whatever, I can just play the game and like fuck around. But like if I have 0 viewers and I'm just talking to myself, it's a little weird. Unless I'm doing a podcast. But yeah. Corey's wife said Corey's mask is going overboard. Oh god. Oh no. Well, at least I wonder what Tortilla Man's is gonna be. That's gonna be interesting. Well, either way, thank you for watching. I hope I get to see you again. We'll see you guys again, and I'll be back next week with a guest. Probably be a YouTuber or streamer this time, since there's been a lot of band members recently. So we'll see. Anyways, I'm gonna spend the next like 3 hours editing this podcast and putting it out. So it'll be out today on my fucking channel at noon. Woo! And it'll be out on audio like as soon as I post it. So yeah, thank you for hanging out, Furybird. Thanks everyone for the follows, and thank you guys for listening to me ramble. Hope you have a good rest of your day.